JEM is my name, no one else is the same. JEM is my name. JEM.
So, Synergy has done brainwashed the holograms. So they are now Dark JEM and the holograms. They're very edgy. They have, like, dark mascara now and eyeshadow. But that's not the important thing. What we're worried about here is Blaze's audition to at least temporarily replace Pizzazz as the lead singer of the Misfits. As we know, Pizzazz got in a car wreck, busted up her larynx, so she's recovering. But the Misfits are contractually bound to do a tour on the West Coast with the Holograms opening for them, and Pizzazz can't sing yet. So they audition, and Blaze passes her audition with flying colors. And the Misfits say, cool, so the tour's in 3 days. We kind of need to know, like, right now. You got the gig if you want it, but ain't really time to think about it. And she says, of course, I need a minute. And she runs out, and she's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And she seems really upset about something. Something is weighing heavily on her soul. And standing outside the studio is Clash, who tried auditioning herself, being a big fan of the Misfits, but she can't sing at all, so they told her no. And I really love this panel because she's standing there, you know, in shadow, saying, what's your problem? Didn't you just get everything you ever wanted? Didn't you just get everything I ever wanted? But what's phenomenal is the very next panel, Clash immediately sees that something's wrong with Blaze and drops that bullshit. And it's like, oh, wait, you're really upset. What's wrong? You know? So, I've got kind of mixed feelings about Clash here because she did try to murder the holograms, but can't say she's not a good friend. So, Blaze is a trans woman, and she is understandably concerned that the Misfits may not accept her for who she is. And if that's going to be the case, she would much rather that happen now than in, like, the middle of the tour. So she's really broken up over the idea that she's so close to a genuine dream of hers. She's always wanted to sing. The Misfits are her favorite band. But this one thing could bring that entire dream crashing to Earth, and that would suck, to put it lightly. So she's really broken up over this. She really wants to tell them now, but she's, understandably so, deathly afraid of how they'll react, because you hope that people that you know or think you know turn out to be, you know, just decent people, but that ain't always the case. I mean, you can't say that people never surprise you, because they do. Hell, you could know someone for 20 years and they still manage to surprise you by going on a disgusting, vitriolic, transphobic rant, completely unprompted. And then you're stuck there sitting, it's like, wow, were you always this way and I'm just a really shit at identifying crappy people? Or is this a new development? Yeah. Stuff like this. And I'm a cis dude. Imagine how hard that shit is for actual trans people. So anyway, Clash advises her. She says, well, we'll go tell them right now. And if they have a problem with it, fuck them. You know, we'll go home and we'll just burn all our Misfits stuff. And she's serious about that, and good on her. So they go back in, and Blaze says, "This is my dream. This is something I've always wanted, but I have to tell you something, and if you're not okay with it, well, but I got to get this out in the open." She says, "I'm a trans woman." And the Misfits are like, "Oh, is that it?" She goes, "Yeah." "Oh, okay, cool." And that's lovely to see. It's yeah, that's nice to see. I hope that I hope that trans readers would take it that way too. I mean, I understand that's an idealized version of reality, and that's certainly not always the case, and in many experiences, probably very rarely the case. And I certainly hope that any trans audiences reading this would not take that as any form of invalidation of their own experiences. I mean, clearly not the authorial intent, but I don't know. I like, granted from a place of extraordinary privilege, I like stories that present idealized versions of the world. And this is one of those. Good gravy, it is hot in here, and I am going to sweat to death. I'm going to turn on my fan, and I'll do my best in Audacity to clip out the noise. So hot. Anyway, another great bit at the end of this sequence is Blaze is very happy that the Misfits aren't transphobic asswipes. And she gets to sing, and she gets to sing with her favorite band, and that's all great. And Clash just slinks off into the night, kind of feeling a bit miserable. But Blaze chases after her and gives her a big old hug and thanks her, and that's really nice to see. So, hang on, that contact is slipping. There we go. Yep. So Rio comes to see the holograms off, and that's when he's introduced to their new look. And it's not just an aesthetic makeover, it's their attitude, too. They're not aggressive or outright mean. Like, they're not going out of their way to belittle you or be jerkish, but they clearly don't have any interest or patience for any type of interpersonal relating or communication. So they're very curt. Like, "Hi, Rio." That's about all you're going to get out of them. And the scariest thing here, honestly, the thing that shows that something, these are pod people, is the fact that Kimber is punctual. She's on time. And she yells at people. She's like, "Hurry your asses up. We need to leave." It's like, okay, something's really wrong here. So, I do love the fact that the holograms and Jerica get in the car, and one of them says, "Oh, maybe we need to have hologram JEM get in the car too, because, Rio's standing right there." And she goes, "Oh yeah, Showtime synergy." And Dark JEM walks past. He's a Rio JEM. Just a great shot. And oh my god, those shoes. JEM in her shoes. So, now I've talked before about how I think Rio's letting... some of the earlier tiffs that Jerica and Rio had, I felt that Rio was not in a position where he needed to apologize for anything. Now, here, you might say, well, why is he putting up with it? They're all being mean to him. Why would he put up with it? Well, because it's just such an dramatic change in appearance and personality, you just don't know what's going on. So I get Rio's reaction here. It's just like, I feel I need more information here, before I make a decision. So the tour buses are on the road. They stop at a burger shop. The characters pile out, and this is the first time the Misfits see any of the holograms, and they're like, "Okay, what?" And they're like, "Rio," and he goes, "I don't know." So Stormer approaches Kimber, who just gives her the cold shoulder. Rio's looking for Jerrica, and they tell him to piss off. They're not Jerrica's keeper. You're an investigative journalist. Go find her. And so the Misfits are sitting in the green room while the holograms open for them. And like, should we watch them do their set? And they're like, no, it's good. They're being mean, so we're not going to bother. Meanwhile, out on stage, JEM and the Holograms are singing their song and apparently brainwashing the audience. So, to what end? Aw, picture of Pizzazz and her kitty. Which reminds me, before they left, Stormer did go to Pizzazz's home to try and tell her that you're a part of this band. We need you. We're not the same without you. Don't think we're abandoning you. We're contractually obligated to do this. So you get well and you come join us when you can. And meanwhile, Pizzazz is just not talking to her and sulking. And that's it for this issue. This is an interesting arc. This feels like an arc that's arriving a little early. This feels like maybe there should be one more arc before they do the JEM goes bad arc, right? It feels like it might be a little early to do that, but regardless, I am quite enjoying it so far and looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. So, yippee skippy.